Hey guys, it's Kennedy, and for today's video, I am doing my version of a no makeup day. This is for days when I still want a little bit of makeup on my face, but I'm not gonna go full beat, or I just don't have time for that. So this is just like, I'm doing a couple things, but not too much. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. That's why I look like Kennedy, because I have no makeup on. And yes, I am wearing a shirt. It just doesn't look like I am. So now that we got all that covered, let's get started. To start, I'm gonna go in with my CoverFX Mattifying Primer. I don't always use this, but today I'm feeling it because I'm feeling really shiny, and I'm just gonna put it everywhere. Normally, I would just put something like this in my T-zone where I get very shiny, but on days where I'm wearing minimal makeup, my whole face tends to get quite shiny, so we're just gonna try to prevent that. Most of the time, I don't even go in with concealer on these no makeup days, just because if I'm trying to look more natural, I'm just gonna let my eye bags be out and living their life because I don't care all that much. But today I am gonna use just a little bit of my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Fair. I mentioned this in my last video, how I do not like using the sponge tip applicator, but for today I'm just gonna use the tiniest bit and then blend it out with my finger for a more natural kind of look. On camera, it looks extra crazy, but like in person, especially after I powder, it won't look so like white and out of place, I promise. Probably. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but like in person, it's just like, wow, you concealed a little bit. But on camera, I look like a crazy ghost, so. This is fun. This is just because I have redness all over my face. Rip. And no matter what, anything I put under my eyes is going to crease, so I'm just using my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge with a little bit of my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And I'm just setting it a little bit, just because I don't want this to slip and slide around on me while I'm trying to be out living my life. Oh, and I made a mess everywhere. That's okay. This happens all the time. And for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use the MAC Select Sheer Pressed Powder in the shade NW20, and I've used this for quite a while. It's a nice kind of natural powder. It doesn't add much coverage at all, but it helps to keep me looking less shiny and just more natural. I might throw some concealer on this spot here too, but for the rest of my face, we're just gonna leave it. I know that I have redness and spots and scars and stuff, but I'm going for a more natural look, and I'm also trying to be more okay with my skin not being perfect and not being like flawless. So I'm learning to live and accept that. And yeah, we're good. I don't know what kind of tangent that was, but I'm just gonna set my face. To apply my MAC powder, I'm just using my Real Techniques powder brush. This one has seen better days, but it's okay. I just really like to push this powder into my skin because it is quite lightweight, and I still want like any coverage it can give me. I just really want it to stay put on my skin, so. Now moving on to eyebrows, all I do is I use just this random kind of eyebrow brush that I've had forever and brush out my eyebrows. And then I will go in with my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Blonde and just apply that because I want my brows to stay put. And this adds a little bit of color, especially on like more natural brows with nothing else, so I like it. I got one eyebrow hair here that is trying to be Gabriella and go her own way, which is great. So I just curled my lashes because it makes me feel a lot more alive and awake. And now I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational Curvitude Mascara, and I'll be right back. And for the bottom lashes, I forgot to mention, I just go for my trusty old CoverGirl LashBlast Waterproof Mascara. I look crazy with like mascara and nothing else on my face or lips, so I'm gonna fix that. Even though I am naturally quite flushed, I am gonna add just a tiny bit of blush to try to help bring me back to life a bit more. So I'm gonna use my Morphe M405 brush and my Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Exposed. It's just a really pretty natural kind of blush. I'm just gonna barely tap in and tap off on a tissue and just apply it. I want to look like I'm still living, even though, you know, I'm probably not. And then just to make sure that I don't do too much, I will just go back in with my powder brush from earlier with no more product on it, just the brush itself and any excess, and just try to blend it out a little. Yet again, another step that I don't always do, it just kind of depends on the day, but today I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer, and I'm gonna go in with my Morphe R2 brush and just take a little bit, tap off that excess, and oh, there's the mirror. And we're just gonna put it on the normal spots that you would bronze, because I'm just feeling super ghostly today. I mean, I guess, because I didn't really put anything on my face, but I'm trying to avoid that look. Now onto highlight. This is from e.l.f. and this is in the shade Moonlight Pearls. I totally would have thrown this into my drugstore favorites video from last week had I tried it before then, but I only got this a few days ago and I've been obsessed with it. I like using it on more natural days so far, but also I can still build it up to get a really kind of blinding highlight. So it's really great. It was like $4. I love it. And I go in with one of my favorite highlighting brushes. This is the setting brush from Real Techniques. So I just pack a little bit on and just pop it on. I am trying to do a more subtle highlighted look today because I don't like doing too much when the rest of my face is like pretty bare. So just do a little bit there. And I will always add more. Still do a bit on my nose because even though I don't want to look shiny, I want to look like I'm glowing. Ooh, look at that nose highlight. Chin. I like putting highlight here. And just a little bit here to make me feel like I'm living. There we go. And then I also will just like take a little bit on my ring finger and like apply it to the inner corners just to brighten up the inner corners of my eyes because I literally don't have any eyeshadow or anything on. Sometimes I will take just like a white eyeshadow and do the same. But for summer and stuff, I've just been loving doing this with highlight. And it just makes me feel a little bit more like alive. And then if there's like a little excess or I'll grab some more, I'll put a little bit under my brow bone just to do what I can to make my brows look okay. So my natural brows are not great, but we're working with them. And the very last thing that I do is go in with a lip product. A lot of the time I will use my Tarte like Quench lipstick, but I just recently picked this up and I've been loving it. It doesn't add a lot of color, but it is really hydrating and I just love the smell of it. This is the Essence Prettifying Lip Oil and it is the shade 3 SOS My Heart. So I'm just gonna pop this on and we'll be good to go. So correction, this doesn't add any color to my lips, but it does just add a nice glossy look. It's not sticky, it smells and tastes really good, and it's just super hydrating and nourishing. So I love using this. Also, I think it was like $4, so it's super cheap. But that is it for my video today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. It just looks like that. So it's not necessarily like super light, but I just like using it. And if nothing else, it doesn't tint my eyebrows too much, but it keeps my eyebrows locked in place, which is all I want from a brow mascara, really. So it's doing its job. 10 out of 10. I just go for my old reliable CoverGirl water but like actually, this should just be a High School Musical appreciation channel. What can I start out with for today? Well, I made a reference to Gotta Go My Own Way, so I mean, that can be our little shout out in this video. Gotta Go My Own Way. T as in Troy? No, T as in titties. What? I said it. It's funny because you can't see me doing anything here. You literally can't see me highlighting. But in my mirror here, I'm living for it. Just trying to highlight everything.